Bear with me here as I am kind of rusty at doing this. It's been like, what, 2 weeks since I've last did a live stream? 2 weeks of doing anything like that, but whatever. You guys been wondering where Chase Oliver has been as of late. Unfortunately, I've got some sad news about my health. I'm not going to go into full detail. No, I normally like to tell you guys everything, but really, to be honest, this is more personal for me. This is about my health. Had to, take some days to detox this information, just understand it. Had some shit go down and everything like that. And yeah, that's pretty much where I've been. Just been relaxing, trying to understand why the fuck am I sick and everything like that. But yeah, just got some bummer news about my health. I was planning on doing the video Friday or Saturday, but I just decided, that'll be at like New Year's Eve, New Year's and stuff like that. And I've just been on bed rest for the last like 3 days, and it's just been bugging me, man. Just been bugging me and everything like that. So I was like, no, I gotta get on here. Gotta go do a video. Gotta do something to get my mind off. I've been reading books, trying to read books the best that I can. Watching way too much videos and stuff like that. Other YouTubers talking about stuff. So I said, you know what? No, I can't just sit here. I gotta get up and I gotta do something. So I decided to do a live stream today. So yeah, catch up on some stuff that I've been wanting to talk about for a little bit. Wrestling, sports, and everything like that. If you guys have questions, you guys know where to leave them and everything like that. Anyways, let's get started talking about some wrestling. So yeah, I've been actually watching wrestling. I know a lot of people may think that I have stopped. I did watch Roadblock. I didn't review it because I wasn't feeling well. And honestly, I felt like that show, it just wasn't worth reviewing. Like, honestly, Roadblock 2016, End of the Line, that show was just a waste of time. It was such a filler show. It was just filler trash. I just didn't care. Honestly, did not care about reviewing that show. I know NXT Osaka is going on, but that's just pre-taped bullshit. I don't really care. They already taped all that stuff. I could really care less what goes on in NXT Osaka. If Joe versus Balor ends up being pretty decent, maybe I'll go check that match out. But for the most part, I don't care. But yeah, so Royal Rumble coming up, the one event every year I kind of look forward to. God damn it, dude. Where the fuck did my chapstick go? That's why you gotta be professional with your streams. Don't just do everything off the mail. So that way people know you're being professional. Fuck it. I'll just do this with chat lips. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, so Royal Rumble's happening. Don't know if we're gonna do a predictions or preview for the Royal Rumble, but I'm planning on doing it soon. So yeah, Royal Rumble happening soon. I always get excited for the Rumble, mainly because it's like the one event where I feel like WWE can always just reset some of the bullshit that they've been doing for years, and like doing for the past year, and just can kind of restart at the Royal Rumble, kind of start fresh, kind of start new and everything like that. And I feel like this Royal Rumble, minus the Rumble match and Cena versus AJ for the title, some of the stuff is just so skippable. Like Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. I mean, who cares? Like, honestly, who cares about Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns for the Universal title? I feel like the only reason you want to watch that match is to see the IWC Rage if Reigns wins. I don't see any other reason why you would care about this match other than the fact that you just want to see Roman Reigns you just want to see Roman Reigns win just to see the IWC Rage. So yeah, the Lesnar Goldberg, that should be good. Styles and Cena should be good too for the title. So yeah, share this again and then answer the questions that I see going on here. Oh, all right. Keep in mind, if I stop and I have to breathe a little bit, that's just going to happen. That's why also I've been doing YouTube videos. I can't talk like I used to. It takes a while. Gore492 asks, hey, Chase, hope you're getting better, man. Thoughts on the Ronda Rousey nonsense? It's kind of weird. Ronda Rousey's just like AWOL. This whole pay-per-view is like hyped up around like she's back. It's Ronda Rousey. You're like, pretty much, let's be real here. Who's paying the $60 to see like Cody Garbrandt versus Dominic Cruz? No one is. Everyone's paying the $60. Your friends are coming over to watch this fight because they want to see Ronda Rousey. And it's like Ronda Rousey is nowhere to be found. There's no sign, there's no trace of Ronda Rousey. Like Ronda Rousey is literally doing whatever the fuck she wants. That's so stupid to me. Like what? So we just have to wait. We just have to really, really wait on Ronda Rousey. We just really have to wait on Ronda Rousey. Like it's just like once her theme hits, like the Reputation by Joan Jett, like that's when we're gonna first see her. She's not gonna do any media. This is how special she is. She can just do whatever the fuck she wants. It's so dumb. It makes Amanda Nunes look like a chump because Amanda Nunes is the women's champ, like the bantamweight champ at least. You know, she's the top dog. And she seems like a chump compared to Ronda Rousey with the way they're promoting it and everything like that. So I don't know. The way they're treating Ronda Rousey is kind of ridiculous, but hey, it is what it is. Paul DePoy says, "Sup, man? How you doing?" Not in the best way, but getting better by the day. DJ Cass, what's up, Chase? What up, DJ? Piznick64, Triple H versus Rollins build too early? No, too late. They're way too late on the Triple H and Rollins build. Like all of a sudden, Seth Rollins now cares about wanting to fight Triple H. Like where the fuck was this urgency when he first betrayed you? Like that's so stupid. If someone betrays me, my first thought is about freaking getting my revenge on them. My first thought is not like, okay, let me go put a Universal title. All of a sudden, Rollins, like the light bulb clicks in his head that he should do something about Triple H. Like that's just stupid. Like I'm sorry, that is just stupid. KDSTS, who's the gayest looking wrestler? Probably Ziggler. Ziggler or Sami Zayn. Pick your poison. Both are pretty gay looking. Gore says, Ronda is not a fighter anymore. She doesn't have the heart of a fighter. Yeah, no. Ronda got the problem. The difference between Ronda and Conor is that Conor knows at heart he's a fighter. Like Conor can go out there and do other things because people would want him to, but he knows that his money and where he's going to make his name is being a fighter. It's not being a movie star. It's not being a TV star. It's not being like anything else in this world. Conor knows his money is with fighting inside that cage. Ronda Rousey became such a star so fast, the UFC couldn't contain it. You see, the UFC used to do what the WWE used to do, where they used to have big stars like Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, and stuff like that, and they would control them. Like, you know, that's why Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz never really became like huge. Like, I'm not trying to say Liddell and Ortiz were never huge stars. Like Liddell and Ortiz were huge stars in MMA, but when it comes down to it, that's why they never really cross-platformed that much, because Dana White, he promoted both of those fighters, and Dana White kept both of those fighters under the UFC bubble and made it seem like you're nothing without the UFC. The UFC let Ronda Rousey do so much that she became bigger than the UFC. You know, there's always an argument who's the bigger star of the UFC between Conor and Ronda Rousey. And really, to be honest here, Ronda Rousey is the bigger star of the UFC. Yeah, you know, Conor McGregor recently has been doing more pay-per-view buys and everything like that. But statistically, yes, Conor's the bigger star. But when you look at just name brand recognition and everything like that, Conor McGregor, you show people a picture of Conor McGregor, they will have to take a while before they say, oh, is that UFC guy? They probably won't even say his name. You show people pictures of Ronda Rousey, they know that's Ronda Rousey. And so she became such a big star, and she honestly couldn't keep up with being a star and being a fighter. She decided she wanted to be a star more than a fighter. And I can't blame her for it. More money for her, you know? Winner of the 2017 Royal Rumble says Pixar Man. If I were to make a prediction right now, not Goldberg or Lesnar, they're both going to eliminate each other. It would have to be someone going for the Universal title. And judging by the way Care Bear is being built, probably Care Bear. PJ and Chill asked, what's up, my boy? I got money on Rousey. Ooh, I would remove that bet if I were you. KDST asked, thoughts about the UFC firing Mike Goldberg? To my knowledge, I don't think they're firing Mike Goldberg. I think they're just not renewing his contract, which is kind of a little bit different. You know, like they're letting him go. It's not really like a firing. A firing is where they fired him during his contract. I don't know. It's a weird business terms that I don't understand. But it sucks, man. It makes me kind of a little bit more as a diehard MMA fan. Looking forward to watching UFC 207 because that's going to be the last time I'm going to hear Mike Goldberg go, and here we go. 5 rounds in the UFC's women's bantamweight division. And hearing it is all over and just like that, you know, it's going to suck, man. I hope we get some good finishes for UFC 207. I get to hear some classic Goldberg lines for the last time. Paul Tafoya asked thoughts on the Chargers' loss to Cleveland. I'm just going to do the Joey Bosa shrug. What can you do? Chargers are a bad team. Rumored that Jim Rome might replace Mike Goldberg. Oh, what the fuck? Jim Rome? Oh my God! What are him and Joe Rogan just going to be smoking weed before every UFC event? Gotta get some alpha brain. Oh God, Jim Rome. I don't know. Like Jim Rome. I don't know. That's I hope Joey Diaz replaces him. That's asking for too much. Jim Rome. Oh God, that's kind of weird. I don't know how Jim Rome and Joe Rogan would mesh, man. Who needs a push into WWE right now? Of all the talents that they have, and they're kind of just wasting, I would probably say Corbin right now kind of needs a push in the WWE right now. He looked really good in the triple threat main event match. He seems to have some kind of grasp of who he is as a performer, which most wrestlers nowadays don't. He works to his style very, very well. So I'd say Baron Corbin if you want to go younger. If you want to go older, maybe a Big E, even though Big E's not that old. Do you think 2016 is one of the worst years for WWE? 2016, as far as like an interest aspect, yes. But I feel like 2016, there's been a little bit more like salvageable pieces than 2015. I felt 2015 was way worse than 2016, man. Like 2015 was just, oh God, like some of that shit was just dreadful to watch, man. Like 2015, you're just like sitting there just wanting this shit to end. 2016, at least with 2016, there's some salvageable pieces in there. You know, the beginning of 2016 wasn't that bad, in my personal opinion. It was just WWE got all convoluted with the Vince and Shane storyline, and then they forced a brand split on us, and you know, now all of a sudden it's like you're trying to do something with the brand split, but it's not really working out to how you felt it would. I think like people's interest in the product has gone down, but at the same time, I blame that more on 2015 just being such a bad year that snowballed into 2016. So I would say 2015 is way worse than 2016 by far. Have you heard Howard Stern's recent rant about the UFC and Dana White? No, I haven't. That sounds very interesting of what Howard Stern would say. May have to check that out later. Like I said, sorry for the deep breaths and everything. It's needed. You guys want me to talk and live, I need to breathe. And everything like that. I'm sorry if I am not as entertaining. That sounds interesting. Howard Stern just ranting on the UFC. SmackDown has been fairly good, John, but at the same time, it's like SmackDown, they rush a lot of moments. Like SmackDown doesn't know how to be patient at all with their stories. Brian Stan will praise Goldberg, probably on like the minor shows, MJPG and Chill, but they're not going to have Brian Stan's too boring, dude. I'm sorry. Like I can't. I feel like he knows everyone too much, and he acts like he's like best friends with everyone. I mean, Goldberg didn't go out there and act like he was best friends with everyone. That's for sure. Paul Tapoya, do you think the New Day deserve to break the record as the longest reigning tag team champions? Yeah. I mean, they were doing well with it, so yeah. Do you want the Chargers to move to Vegas or LA or stay put? Well, they're not staying put. I don't think Vegas would take the Chargers. I guess be like the second team in LA. That sounds fun. Who do you think out of the 4 teams will be the national championship? I think it's going to be a rematch of last year's national championship. Alabama's going to steamroll Washington. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like Washington in the beginning of the game, like literally this is how I'm going to predict every college football game. If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I don't give a fuck. So you have Alabama and Washington. I feel like Washington, they will like start off the game pretty well. Like everyone's going to be like, oh, Alabama's in trouble. Washington is keeping up with them. And then it'll just be like the classic Alabama will get one of their non-offensive touchdowns. whether it be a pick six or a punt return for a touchdown, and then afterwards Alabama will just like get all this momentum. Because that's the thing with Alabama. If you want to stop Alabama from going, you have to stop the defense first. Most other teams, it's like you got to stop the offense. No, you got to shut down Alabama's defense. And how you shut them down is make sure those boys don't sack you. Like, if Jake Browning doesn't get sacked at all in the first 2 quarters, Washington has a great chance, because then afterwards that frustrates the Alabama defensive lineman, that frustrates Tim Williams, that frustrates Jonathan Allen, it frustrates Reuben Foster, and then they start taking stupid chances and they stop playing to the system. You got to stop Alabama's defensive line. If you do not stop Alabama's defensive line from getting to your quarterback, you're not going to win this game, because Alabama will just come screaming at you, sacking you. And Browning's a good quarterback. He's going to sit there and become a bad quarterback, because that's what happened to the game against USC. He got all nervous and stuff because SC kept on getting to him. So I predict Alabama, Washington, close beginning, but then Alabama will open up the floodgates, and then it's just going to be like, who's going to stop Bama in the national title game? Ohio State versus Clemson, I feel like will be a sloppy good game. And what I mean by that, I see a lot of sloppiness from both teams, mainly on the offensive side of the ball, because really, to be honest here, both teams' defenses are pretty damn solid. Not Alabama, but they're both pretty damn solid. But I definitely see some sloppiness from both teams, and I feel like Ohio State will sneak out with the win here, because Urban Meyer always finds a way to sneak out of the win. And plus, Clemsoning twice would be awesome. And seeing Dabo Swinney, I don't like any of these two coaches, to be honest here. I know everyone gives Nick Saban crap, but really, to be honest here, Urban Meyer, while at Florida, was like helping Cam Newton steal laptops and shit. I mean, he was covering up some of Aaron Hernandez's murders, if you think about it. He's a piece of shit. And Dabo Swinney, he's like Pete Carroll, but not as Pete Carroll-ish, if that makes any sense. Like, he's like a wannabe Pete Carroll. Like, Dabo Swinney wishes he was Pete Carroll. He tries too hard to be Pete Carroll. He ain't Pete Carroll, baby. There's only one Pete Carroll. So, yeah. So I see Ohio State versus Alabama. It'll be a very big national publicized game. The 2014 champion versus the 2015 champion to crown the 2016 champion. Oh, baby. Kirk Herbstreit will choose Ohio State because he's a biased piece of shit. And then Alabama will steamroll Ohio State. JT Barrett will get injured. There will be no Cardale Jones to save their asses anymore. Roll Tide, roll. Give us number 17. So, yeah. Mr. Blue Knight, yes, I am going to be watching UFC 207. KDSC, Fighter of the Year in the UFC. It's between Bisping or McGregor. It just depends on what you value more in the UFC. Do you value the fact that McGregor did lose to Nate Diaz but did revenge his loss? I mean, because really, to be honest here, Michael Bisping went on and defeated Anderson Silva, which he should not have won that fight, but he did. Revenged his loss against Luke Rockhold to become the middleweight champion, and then beat Dan Henderson. While Conor McGregor started off the year getting his ass kicked by Nate Diaz on short notice, barely winning, and you can even argue that he lost that fight to Nate Diaz, and then destroying Eddie Alvarez. So, really, to be honest, it's up in the air. You choose between Conor McGregor or Michael Bisping on who you think the fighter of the year is. You know, a lot of people would say, what about Dominic Cruz? He hasn't really fought that much, in my personal opinion, beating up Uriah Faber. Really, bro, come on. And then also, people will also say Joanna. She hasn't been finishing anyone. Really, I can't really vote for her. And is there really anyone else worth the damn? So, yeah, those would be the two fighters of the year. Who do you think will win the NFC North on Sunday, Lions or Packers? Well, the Lions are known for choking in recent weeks. You know, like that's like their usual thing. You know, the Lions, they're like a nice little story. You want to see them succeed, but ultimately they end up choking. And then also too, Aaron Rodgers, he's always good in the clutch. So I got to go with the Packers. Fuck, marry, kill Paige VanZant, Rousey, or Miesha Tate. Oh, fuck Paige VanZant, kill Ronda Rousey, and then marry Miesha. That's like the easiest thing ever. Redwood 3 and 6S. Do you agree with Slug Daddy when he says modern day sports and movies and TV shows suck? Yeah, like sports, the NFL is like not as fun to watch. Like I prefer watching college football games over NFL games just because the college football atmosphere is a lot more fun to watch to me. I only really watch NFL games if like there's a good primetime game or if there's players that I like watching because I have them either in fantasy or B, I'm just a general fan of said player, or if my team's watching. If team's playing. If the Chargers are not playing, I literally don't care. I'll have Red Zone on one TV on one screen, and then I'll have like Charger game on the other screen, and I'll just watch Red Zone just because I want to see a crazy touchdown or two. Basketball, really, to be honest, the NBA, I'm pretty sure there's like an NBA game going on right now. I prefer watching highlights of players and then actually watching the full games themselves. Even with college basketball, I feel like soccer is taking a big step back a little bit. Some of the stars are kind of getting a little bit older. Hockey, funny enough, I feel like baseball has gotten better. Like I watched a lot of baseball this past year than I have NBA or NFL. To be honest with you, when baseball was going on this season, I don't know if it's because the Cubs were doing well and I was just like wanting to watch the Cubs to see if they'll do it. But I felt like the playoffs this year, like baseball killed it in the playoffs. I felt playoff baseball this year, all matchups were interesting, fun to watch, and good games. To be honest with you, you can't tell me one series that was bad. It's funny. The sport people call boring the most, baseball, ends up being the best sport this year. But yeah, TV shows too. Like, there's not really much TV shows to watch. It feels like everyone watches the same 3 TV shows, and it's like it is not even fun to talk about those TV shows because literally you have motherfuckers like they don't like. This shows how much fans they are. They will wait. Like you'll be like, oh yeah, did you watch like let's just say Walking Dead? Did you watch Walking Dead? Don't spoil it for me. I haven't seen it yet. Fucker, it's Wednesday. This show happened on Sunday. How the fuck did you not watch the show already? How in the blue hell did you not already say, you know what, let me go watch The Walking Dead? If you are such a fan of this show, why didn't you watch it already? Like, huh? How the hell did you not already watch the first few episodes or the episode that happened on Sunday? It's Wednesday. And then you take away my enjoyment of wanting to talk about that show with you because you're like, don't spoil it for me. So what? I have to go fucking go through the memory banks. And I feel like also too, like the whole binge watching theme, people like prefer watching shows that it's like you forget about shows just like that. Like Fuller House. Fuller House was like cool for a week. It was like, yeah, man, I'm watching Fuller House. And then like 2 weeks later, if you brought up Fuller House, it was like, nah, man, we on Luke Cage now. So yeah, it's kind of stupid. I kind of agree with that. It's kind of bad. If you're Cleveland, do you take a shot of drafting Allen and the Texans in them defensive end in the top 10 picks in the draft? I don't know. Jonathan Allen or Myles Garrett will both be there for them, but that wouldn't be too bad for them to have, I guess. I mean, they should focus on getting a quarterback or offensive weapons for future quarterback. But whatever. Besides New England, which team would be the biggest threat to win the AFC? First, a moment of silence for the Oakland Raiders. I never thought I would do this on this channel, but really, to be honest here, it was funny. My friends and I were actually talking about this, like when we were hanging out for during the winter break and everything. And it was funny. We were talking about how the Raiders, like everyone used to just hate the Raiders and despise them, but the Raiders now have been like more of a likable team. You know, there's not a lot of like assholes like there were in the past. You know, like Khalil Mack, he doesn't do anything asshole-ish. Derek Carr seems like a good guy. And it sucks, you know, like the Raiders seemed like a big threat to win the AFC this year, and then Derek Carr goes down with that monstrous injury. So besides the New England Patriots, definitely the Steelers. You can never count out the Steelers, man. The Steelers are like that one pimple you keep on trying to pop. You think you popped it and you got rid of it, but then it forms back bigger and badder than ever. That's the Pittsburgh Steelers pretty much. Like the New England Patriots, they're like a consistent wart. Like, you know, the New England Patriots are always there, or like a mole, a consistent mole, a mole that you're born with. Like, especially in this last decade, they're there. It's always going to be on your face. You can't get rid of that mole unless you do laser surgery or whatever like that. But when it comes down to it, the New England Patriots are always there. The Steelers, you don't know what the fuck to expect from them. They can either be the biggest pimple on your forehead or like the smallest little speck that you don't need to worry about. So when it comes down to it, Pittsburgh Steelers is definitely a good choice. Fuck ass, do you still watch the Smart Busters? Yes, they're still entertaining, so why wouldn't I watch them? KDSTS, who will Nick Diaz fight next? I don't know. Who's big enough for Nick Diaz to fight? Thoughts on Wrestle Kingdom 11, asked by my boy Heel Steven. Steven, you should know I don't know anything about Wrestle Kingdom 11. So let's go check out this all-star fucking card by New Japan Pro Wrestling. All right, Wrestle Kingdom 11. So this is a New Japan Rumble. It has Hiroshi Tenzan, Jushin Thunder Liger, Mamanobu Nakashi, Ryusuke Taguchi, Tiger Mask, and Yuji Nagata. And a surprise entrance. Tiger Mask White taking on Tiger the Dark. Okay. The Young Bucks taking on Roppongi Vice, Beretta, and Rocky Romero for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Titles. I'll go with Roppongi Vice. Why not? David Finlay, Ricochet, and Satoshi Kojima versus the Bullet Club. Bad Luck Fale, Heyman Page, Yujiro Takahashi versus Chaos, Jado, Will Ospreay, and Yoshihashi versus Los Ingobernables de Japón? The fuck? Who the fuck named this team? That's so stupid. Bushi, Evil, and Sonata. Oh, the great Sonata. Oh god, this is terrible. Cody versus Juice Robinson. So Cody Rhodes is taking on some jobber. Kyle O'Reilly versus Adam Cole for the ROH title. That sounds terrible. Gorillas of Destiny versus Chaos. Chaos is fighting. What the fuck? Versus GBH. Okay. Kushida versus Komuro Takahashi. Katsuya Shibata versus Hiroko Goto. Tetsuya Naito versus Hiroshi Tanahashi for the IC title. Oh, Tanahashi going to do like the John Cena Open Challenge for the US title, but with the IC title. And Kazuchi Okada versus Kenny Omega for the IWGP Heavyweight title. That's like the only match I would watch from that show. And really, to be honest, I hope Okada buries Kenny Omega because fuck that guy's a piece of shit. Kenny Omega's good, but I'm just more of an Okada fan. Excited for Dragon Ball Super on the 7th in English? Yes, I am, Piznik. Clarkson Lopez asks, how's live, Chase? Pretty shitty. Nah, it's all right. Straight Shooter asks, do you think David Johnson from the Cardinals is the most underlooked MVP candidate? No, not really, because he has stats, but at the end of the day, his team's sucking. Who gives a fuck? I don't care what your stats are. If your team's not doing well, you're not an MVP candidate. Bottom line. David Johnson, yes, is doing a lot more with a lot less, unlike Ezekiel Elliott. But at the end of the day, without Zeke, everyone's going to – here's the thing. Ezekiel Elliott, yes, he's behind the best offensive line in the NFL in the Dallas Cowboys. But correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of people shitted on the Cowboys trading down in that draft to select Travis Frederick. And shitted on them choosing Travis Frederick. Did not think Travis Frederick was a first-round prospect at all. If anything, they ranked Travis Frederick as a third-round prospect. Zach Martin, borderline, you could say, like, yeah, he was a good prospect, but no one expected him to be this damn good. All right? And when it comes down to it, a lot of people will be like, well, yeah, Run DMC did good behind the Cowboys' offensive line, so of course you would expect Zeke to do good as well. But Zeke has taken it to the next level. Zeke is the leading rusher in the NFL his rookie season. That's pretty damn good if you ask me. A lot of other NFL rookie running back. If you tell me you put a lot of running backs in the NFL behind there, would they be leading the league in rushing? Yes, David Johnson's doing a lot less, but also you got to put into fact how many of more David Johnson's yards that he's getting are from passing checkdowns where he's wide open and he can turn up and run the field, and also kick returns and punt returns. Zeke doesn't do kick returns or punt returns. That's why David Johnson has almost similar amount of total yards to Ezekiel Elliott. And you just like to put up the stat there of the offensive line numbers, like, oh, behind the first-ranked offensive line, but not this offensive line. Like, look. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, yes, Zeke is playing behind the best offensive line in the NFL today. But really, to be honest here, how many rookie running backs do you know just come out of the gate and look like they're all pro studs? Just being real here. Broken Rebecca Elson, what's going on, my friend? And she says Clarkson must be deleted. Why? Rebecca, why must Clarkson be deleted? Has he become obsolete? Do you think the NFL desperately wants a Cowboy versus Patriots Super Bowl? Oh, fuck yeah. Are you kidding me? Especially this. Oh, my God. Yes. This year would be the perfect time for a Cowboys versus Patriots Super Bowl. Oh, my. Yes. The only thing that would make this better if somehow Peyton Manning came out of retirement and played for the fucking Cowboys, then they would definitely want this. I mean, let's be real here. You have the Patriots. The personification of excellence in the last decade of the NFL, with most likely who's going to be the NFL candidate MVP this year in Tom Brady. You're going to have Tom Brady, pissed off Brady looking to cement his legacy of the greatest of all time, not just at the quarterback level, but in all of the NFL, any position you fucking name it, Tom Brady, if he wins a 6th ring, greatest of all time. Or 4th, 5th ring, I can't remember, 5th, 6th, I don't know. Tom Brady's a winner. That's all I fucking know. Sorry, I'm kind of diluted here a little bit, but I'm pretty sure 5th ring would be Tom Brady's if he wins this Super Bowl. Yeah, 5th ring. Yeah, Tom Brady winning his 5th ring. And then you have the Cowboys, America's team. Tony Romo goes out for the season. Here comes Dak fucking Prescott. Oh, my God. What a story. He's almost similar to Tom Brady. Oh, you can see the comparisons now as they compare Prescott and fucking Brady in this situation. And then also with Zeke and the best offensive line in football, who can stop these two massive juggernauts being the top 2 teams. You have the biggest bandwagon team of all time in the Patriots taking on America's team in the Dallas Cowboys with such a great story. I feel like the only other Super Bowl they would want this year, minus Patriots versus Cowboys, is probably Cowboys versus Steelers because of the history that you have in that and all that video archive footage you can show of the great Cowboy and Steelers matches back up in the day, or Cowboys versus Raiders, especially if the Raiders did have Derek Carr, like, oh, God, 2 young stud quarterbacks. You can build that for years to come. You have Derek Carr. You have Dak Prescott. I mean, the Raiders are like the 3rd, 2nd best offensive line in the league, if you want to look at it. They've been doing pretty damn well. So, a lot of things to say. Tyreek Hill or David Johnson, better player, asked Maryland Wolves. Oh, David Johnson, not even close. Tyreek Hill is a nice utility player, but he's no David Johnson. Comeback player of the year, I have Stafford, says Piznick 64. Stafford, yeah, he's a good choice. I would also say that Melvin Gordon deserves that award too, but hey, who am I to say? Red Wolf 316, Chase, I did a video on my channel called The 2010s, the worst decade of wrestling. Do you think 2010s is so far becoming the worst decade for wrestling? Minus the year 2011, I can't tell you what, and a little bit of 2013, I can't tell you what the fuck 2010s have done for wrestling. Gil Steven asked thoughts on Mike Goldberg leaving the UFC. I already spoke on that. It sucks. I hope he calls a great fights. UFC 207. Graven G asks, speaking of Dragon Ball, I'm about to start GT. Is it as bad as everyone says it is? Dragon Ball GT, okay, Dragon Ball GT, amongst like the hardcore of hardcore Dragon Ball fans, it's really, really bad because it retcons a lot of stuff that Toriyama did, and it really does a bad job with the characters afterwards. You know, GT is mostly stand for Goku time. You know, it's all about Goku and stuff like that. Some of the arcs don't get enough time to really develop. You know, like Dragon Ball GT, it literally starts off like the arc. It seems like it's going to be epic as all hell. You're like, oh shit, man. The last arc wasn't so good, but man, this arc's going to be better. And then it's just like, nope, it just goes downhill from there. The power scaling is all over the place. GT has some good fights. GT has some enjoyable villains. GT has some interesting concepts. It's just that GT doesn't execute them. Dragon Ball GT, Draven G, in all honesty, to compare it, it's just like today's WWE. They start off with something interesting where you're just like, oh man, this is gonna be sick. Kevin Owens just won the Universal title, and then they don't follow up anything with it. Oh, got a message from a friend. So, all right. So my friend just messaged me. All right. I'm going to have to respond to him real quick. Nope. He wanted to know if I was working tonight, and no, I am not. Can't work for a week. It sucks. What was the best moment of wrestling this year, says Razorpan 1996? For me personally, AJ Styles winning the WWE title. That's just me. Slapnuts 2000 asks, do you think the YWC is dead? I think it's for the most part, it's pretty dead. I feel like a lot of the channels, like big name channels, kind of like took over the YWC, so it's like really hard for like a lot of YouTubers to really interact. Like yeah, YWC, I remember when channels would actually interact with each other. Nowadays, most channels don't really interact with each other. It's rare when you find a group of people in the YWC to interact with. And a lot of the YouTubers is just kind of like, you already know what they're going to say. They don't really bring anything different or unique to the table. Like, really, to be honest, like Schlag Daddy is one of the only few people where it's just like, hey, I like, don't get me wrong, I watch OK Fabe, I watch Steven, I watch Elena, I watch like a lot of my friends personally, but because they're my friends, you know, I'm going to support their videos and stuff like that. But when it comes down to it, the YWC for me personally, the YWC for me personally is just it's just not as interactive. It's just not interesting. And really, to be honest, it's also like, yeah, wrestling is not really interesting to talk about. But really, to be honest, it's like hard to like interact with anyone here on YouTube or try to do anything with anyone on YouTube, because a lot of people are just kind of in it for themselves type of deal. They don't really think about how to help others and stuff like that. Like, there's many communities where they still do collabs, but like, how many times have you seen a YWC people do collabs anymore? Like, I remember back in the day, dude, like if you were like a smaller channel, you could go to like Mitch and Spinnernet and everything like that, and you just ask, hey, can I try to do a video with you? And they didn't care what your quality was or how good you were. They would do it anyways just to fucking help you out, you know? They wouldn't care whatsoever. So, yeah. Giants thus Patriots 3. What if Eli wins a third time, or what if Brady gets his revenge? Nah. I wouldn't be interested in that Super Bowl, to be honest. No, not a chance. Fuck, marry, kill Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte. Fuck Sasha, kill Becky, marry Charlotte, because at least I'll know I'll be set for life. I prefer Sasha Banks more than Charlotte, but fuck, man, at least I know like I won't have to do shit. And you know, Charlotte's big on divorcing people, so maybe she'll divorce me. What's your favorite football game that glue your eyes to the TV, like of all time or this year? My favorite football game of all time is Super Bowl 42. The Giants versus the Patriots. That one was amazing. Like I was just like, I couldn't believe how awesome that game was. And then my second favorite is obviously the Rose Bowl 2006, Vince Young versus USC. Do I need to say more? KC or ATL, better team heading into the playoffs now? I would say Atlanta, because like KC has just been like getting like minor injuries and major injuries hurting their team a little bit. And even though, yes, Matt Ryan hasn't shown as much playoff success as Alex Smith, or more playoff success than Alex Smith, I prefer Matt Ryan leading my team to the playoffs than Alex Smith. No offense, it is what it is. Paul Tafoy asks, have you been watching Dragon Ball Super? If so, what do you think about it so far? I like Dragon Ball Super. I think it's fine. It's definitely more Dragon Ball than it is Dragon Ball Z. Goku's a lot more stupid in this show. Like, he's just such a dummy. Like, he just does a lot of stupid things. So, yeah. I remember seeing a commercial for GT when it first came to Toonami, and it was a weird rap thing, and a little 9-year-old me was just like, what the fuck? Step into the Grand Tour, step into the Grand Tour, Dragon Ball GT, oh! Goku, a child again. Like, oh, God, man. Like, what the fuck? Well, Scott Steiner ran for president in 2020, and his goal was to make America no longer the fattest country in the world. Straight shooter, best sports mode of the year. Mine is the Cubs winning the World Series. Is there any other moment? That whole Game 7 was amazing. Just amazing. Maryland Wolves asks, Jalen Ramsey or Joey Bosa defensive rookie of the year? Ooh, that's a I would have to give the edge to Bosa more because he has the sack totals, and really, to be honest, if you took him away from the Chargers defense, the Chargers defense would be kind of blah. Like Jalen Ramsey, yeah, he's been playing really, really well for the Jaguars as of late. But I feel like Bosa has been a little bit more consistent. So I would go with Bosa. Being a Chargers fan, I've been watching it. To be honest, I've been watching more Charger games and Jaguar games. So I could honestly not tell you anything about Jalen Ramsey if he's been from what I've seen, he's been playing better. Thoughts on Mustafa Ali asked by Snowdrop. Who's Mustafa Ali? Is that Muhammad Ali? Thoughts on Lane Kiffin leaving? Good. I'm tired of these bubble screens. No, I like Kiffin. He's done a good job with Alabama. I wish him the best of luck at Florida, wherever he's going. What was the worst year of wrestling in the 90s, 2000s, and 2010? Oh, in the 90s, 95. Not even close. 2000, 2007 was just dreadful. Cena's reign of terror. 2010, probably 2015. Favorite DBZ film? I like Battle of the Gods. That's my favorite Dragon Ball Z film. Yes, there's more of a recency bias into that answer, but also because I do like the fight between Goku and Beerus. That was an epic fight. I like the character interactions that were going on. Like I'm a fan of Dragon Ball's characters. Like the fights are awesome in Dragon. Whenever we talk about Dragon Ball, I always say this: the fights in Dragon Ball are sometimes really overrated and are remembered for all the wrong reasons. You know, the fights are not as good as you remember it. So anyways, guys, I got to take a quick little intermission. I'll be right back. Not stopping the stream yet. Just going to take a quick intermission. Just keep on leaving your questions, and I'll answer them as soon as possible. All righty then, guys. I'm back from the quick little intermission and everything like that. Had to use the restroom a little bit. medication I'm on, like, I can't control it, man. It really just sometimes, like, it'll just go like bam and stuff like that. Snowdrop House, do you have any Royal Rumble predictions, like in the match itself or just like match by match predictions? In the match itself, I predict Goldberg and Lesnar to do something really, really epic, and it'll just be the best moment of the Rumble. I predict Care Bear winning the Royal Rumble. That's for sure. And then maybe some surprise returns. I don't know who I would have surprise returning. Maybe a Samoa Joe debut. But yeah. Let's see. The Bardock was a special Draven G. It's not a Dragon Ball movie. Therefore, invalid. Damian Blake, favorite WWE pay-per-view theme. Oh, that's so hard, man. There's so many good ones. I always got to go with Always by Saliva. Like, I'm sorry that I don't know if that was actually a main theme, but I always loved Always. And then also like Drones by Rise Against. That was a good one too. Like Royal Rumble 07. But yeah, Always by Saliva. And of course, My Way, WrestleMania 17. Who does not like My Way? Chase, if you were to own the Chargers, what would be the first thing you do? Goodbye, Tommy T. And as Marilyn Wolf says, Mike McCoy. That's what I would do. First thing. Who do you think will be the next Chargers coach? Should McCoy get fired? Honestly, Maryland Wolves, I haven't looked on who's going to be a free agent coach. I feel like they would get a big name. And honestly, I feel like John Fox may be the name they would go after. I don't think John Fox will last a lot longer in Chicago. So I feel like John Fox, they would like be like, yo, Fox, look at what we have. Established quarterback. We have a defense with two pretty good, with one really good young player and a couple of decent players put in here. Come fix this situation. Come on. You know you want to. I mean, the Raiders have Jack Del Rio. The Chiefs have Andy Reid. The Broncos have Gary Kubiak. We need more old coaches in this division. Come on. Come on, John Fox. So John Fox would definitely be someone to keep an eye out on there. Chuck Pagano, I don't think so. Because I don't know if Chuck and John would be like the best options together. So, you know, honestly, after the job Chuck Pagano has done in Indianapolis, I think it would be a while. Maybe they'll try to get John Gruden, but I highly doubt Gruden would want to go to San Diego of all places and stuff like that. So, honestly, I feel like John Fox. Like, I just have this feeling in my stomach. And if you guys don't know, my NFC team, like my favorite team is the Chargers, but my family is all like Bears fans, like diehard Chicago Bears fans and everything like that. So I do like the Bears to some extent. Like I am a Bears fan, if you could say, but they are like diehard, like Bears and Notre Dame fans and everything like that. That's how I became a Cubs fan, because my family are big Cubs fans and stuff like that. So it's just like, so it's like it's pretty much like if I do have a secondary team in the NFL, it would have to be the Bears. For whatever reason, though, they're not Bulls fans. Like they're all Laker fans. Like my mom's a Laker fan. My dad, I don't know if he is a Lakers fan still, but he was a Lakers fan and shit like that. So it's like when it comes down to it, they're all Laker fans. They're not Bulls fans. It's kind of weird. They're all like Chicago, Notre Dame, and everything like that, and then they just like the Lakers. I don't get it, but hey, it is what it is. But yeah, so like the Bears, like that's who they like and stuff like that. So like I'll be like, yeah, I know what you did in Chicago, so now come here, John Fox, and ruin my life even more. So yeah, I'm not like a diehard Bears fan like Schleg Daddy or anything like that. Like I'll like he's like diehard. Like the way I talk about the Chargers is how I am. Like how Schleg Daddy talks about the Bears. That's how I'm diehard of the Chargers and stuff like that. When it comes to the Bears, you know, I root for them and everything like that. Like I know about them and I'll complain about them, but yeah. Draven G asked, the first Broly film is pretty good. It's definitely the darkest. Oh God. Kakarot. Oh. Oh, fucking Broly. What a piece of shit. Snowdrop asked, what's your favorite film released in 2016 and least favorite film released in 2016? My favorite film in 2016 was Deepwater Horizon. Like that movie was like Backdraft and Titanic. If they had a kid, man, that movie was tight, dude. Like I had fun watching that movie. That's like the movie got to me in so many ways. It was very emotional, very, very strong cast. It felt like I was actually watching real people in this situation. It didn't feel like I was watching actors moving their ways through the moving their ways to the moving their way through the plot. Like it was really good. Like I have to say, go watch Deepwater Horizon this year. If you guys have not seen Deepwater Horizon, you won't be disappointed. My favorite film this year for sure. And my least favorite film this year, Max Steel. I know that's like a cop-out answer because like Max Steel wasn't supposed to be good. But really, to be honest here, as someone who grew up as a kid and every morning before I head to school, I would watch like Max Steel and Zoids and then just be excited to watch Max Steel. Just be like, oh man. Like I was generally excited for Max Steel, the movie. Like I generally was excited for this movie. I was generally excited to see this movie and see what they would do it. And they took like what should have been a basic, simple franchise and kind of ruined it, in my personal opinion. So yeah, Max Steel, definitely the worst movie you will see this year. It was really, 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 really bad. But hey guys, 50 Shades Grey comes out next year, so that'll definitely easily take the spot and stuff like that. Well, Snowdrop posts her WrestleMania card. Oh, Philip M6. Snowdrop did drop her WrestleMania card. I have it in my messages for you. I love it, Margo. So you guys ready for the Snowdrop WrestleMania live in Antarctica? The pre-show. Byron Saxton, the Great Khali, and stuttering Cesaro get to their commentary tables. In the pre-show, 2 hours of Tito Ortiz with his arms crossed, looking smugly at the camera. What a great way to start this. So the first match of the show is Chase Oliver versus Tyler Breeze in a Q&A match. Guest refed by Snowdrop, of course. Match ends in a no contest due to neither competitor knowing how to do a Q&A match even works. I personally think I would bury Tyler Breeze in this situation, but Snowdrop has it different. Then we have Total Whites versus the League of Justice. A returning Chavo, Nikki, one of the vaudevillains, local competitor, and other vaudevillain. See, the vaudevillains, they're just separate. It's one of the vaudevillains and the other vaudevillain. An elimination tag match. League of Justice wins after returning Chavo is the only survivor against every Total White, so he defies the odds in the most heroic way possible, running them over with his golf cart. I wake up every morning by the pool. I paint my white picket fence too. Lego Finn Balor defends his United States Championship against Bully Ray in a Lego steel cage match for the United States title. And Bully Ray wins via escape after Finn refused to risk breaking the Lego cage. I can't do it. I can't break the Lego cage. These pieces, they're so beautiful. And Bully Ray just slams Finn through the Legos. 3-man Royal Rumble match. Winner gets a world title shot whenever he's injured. Winner is declared during commercial, so only the live audience knows. We don't know who won this match. 18-man IC title clusterfuck match with some random ass indie guys and Jinder Mahal, because why the fuck not? My boy Jinder wins after the other 17 competitors injured themselves with over a dumb spot fest, which I like. Shane McMahon versus Dolph Ziggler versus coked up Jeff Hardy in a skyscraper work rate match for the Universal title. Ends in a no contest after crackhead Jeff Hardy falls off the skyscraper. Then Shane jumps off of it to hit Jeff for some reason. Then Ziggler does a diving elbow off the skyscraper while shouting, "They hear you! They hear you!" Broken Matt Hardy and Machete Samoa Joe versus Heel Kalisto and Hunico for the tag titles. Heel Kalisto and Hunico win after Samoa Joe gets DQ'd for stabbing the ref. Rosebud Battle Royale. Ellsworth wins after slamming Braun through over the ropes like Cesaro. And then one of the premier matches of WrestleSnomania, Charlotte versus Sasha Banks, number 7,824, for the women's title in a barbed wire electrified cage inside three cell structures inside of a Pujazi prison on fire on top of a skyscraper surrounded by piranhas. Charlotte wins the title after beating Sasha in 5 seconds with the big boot. This is due to Sasha not being allowed to take any big spots. We're here to make a change. Women are making the movement. That was my Sasha Banks impression. And then finally, the main event of WrestleSnomania, Modern Triple H versus Hunter Hearst Helmsley versus Reign of Terror Triple H versus DX Triple H versus Evolution Triple H versus Terror Rising Triple H, Elimination Chamber match for the WWE title, and the winner is Triple H. So there was WrestleSnomania. Honestly, 10 times better than what you'll ever see. I enjoyed it personally. I thought it was a top tier card. Do you think Cutler would be cut? Asked by Marilyn Willis. I think they will try to trade Cutler, but I don't think they'll cut him. I don't know what you can get from him with this contract, but I don't think the Bears would risk cutting him. That would be too big on their cap. What was the worst Super Bowl game you watched? Asked by Josh Chambers. See, that's kind of hard because like the ones that you would go to, you would think that like I would consider the worst. I love the Seahawks like just stampeding the Broncos. That was awesome to me. Or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers shutting up those stupid fucking Raiders, man, with Rich Gannon and shit. I love those Super Bowls. I'm like, man, those Super Bowls were awesome. But a lot of people consider them the worst. To me personally, the Seahawks versus the Steelers, that was one of the most anticlimactic and lame Super Bowl ever. Terrible officiating. Like they were just really trying to give Jerome Bettis a championship. Like I don't even like say like, oh, they were trying to give the Steelers a championship. They were literally trying to give Jerome the fucking Bus Bettis a championship. And Jerome Bettis should not be even praised because that motherfucker, and Steeler fans know, almost cost the Steelers the freaking chance to even be in that Super Bowl in the playoffs. With that stupid ass fumble he did in like what, the wild card? Comes down to it, man. That would probably be the worst Super Bowl, mainly because I've never seen it where they've tried to get a player. And it's not like, like Jerome, like I'm not trying to diss the Bus. I love the Bus, man. But like seriously, like they were trying their best to give Jerome Bettis a fucking Super Bowl. Snowdrop asked, do you think DC Films will make a comeback in 2016? It starts with Wonder Woman. I think the way that Wonder Woman's been looking, yes, I think DC Films can make that comeback in 2016, but it starts with Wonder Woman. What's a film you like that nobody else seems to like, and vice versa? A film that I like, you see, I tend to like films that a lot of people do like, but I would have to say with Jurassic World, I feel like I'm one of the only few. Jurassic World, if you guys don't know, last year, that was my favorite movie last year. That was by far Chase Oliver's favorite movie of last year was Jurassic World. But it seems like a lot of people don't like Jurassic World. It seems like I'm the only human being that does like Jurassic World. So I guess that's what I could tell you. So yeah, Jurassic World. And then films that like everyone likes that I didn't seem to like. It mostly comes down to like the Avenger films. And it's not that I think they're bad or anything like that. Like Age of Ultron wasn't bad. I just don't understand why people say it was a great movie. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's really hard. What's like a popular film that recently came out, or just like a popular film in general that a lot of people like that I just don't like? That's really, really fucking hard. If you want to go with like the classic Disney films, I would say a lot of people like Aladdin, but I'm particularly not a big fan of Aladdin. I know that comes off of weird, but I just didn't like Aladdin. I thought it was really, really dumb. That's just me personally and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's a lot of films. Mostly comes from superhero films because everyone just seems to like them out of habit, where it's like, oh, you know what? The third Transformers, a lot of people like, but I don't like. Like the fights are cool, but that's pretty much it. John Kuash, should WWE bring back the Vignette Sport debuts? Yeah, that would help. adds more character, but that takes too much effort. 2017 looks pretty stacked when it comes to movies. Oh yeah, dude, and trust me, Draven, me working at a movie theater, goddamn, dude, like it's just gonna be like it's either gonna be a really good year or a really disappointing year. I mean, you have like 50 Shades Grey, or like, yeah, no one's expecting that, but for me personally, oh, that movie gonna be packed. I'm gonna love that movie, man. I'm gonna be a big fan of those 50 Shades Grayer women coming into the bar trying to buy some drinks. You know what I'm saying? So 50 Shades Grayer, you know. Yeah, Beauty and the Beast, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. That's been a movie that people are hyping up on. Spider-Man Homecoming, Wonder Woman, Guardians 2. You know, there's a bunch of other big name movies that are coming out too that I can't think of off the top of my head. I mean, 2017, dude, that's going to be a strong year for movies, man. Strong year. Would you ever watch Triple H WrestleMania where you get every Triple H match? Joe Juicy. Who's my favorite wrestler of all time again? It's Triple H. You don't think that I wouldn't, like Joe Juicy? Of course I would watch a wrestle. I don't care, dude. I love watching Triple H matches. I'll watch Triple H wrestle that fucking broomstick. Remember that one episode of Raw when everyone walked out of Triple H and he's like, I could wrestle a broom better than most of these guys. I wanted to see Triple H versus the broom. I was one of the only fuckers that were like, fuck yeah, Triple H. Triple H is the greatest, dude. I love this man. Which movies are you looking forward to more, Justice League or Avengers Infinity War? From a creative standpoint, I'm looking more forward to Justice League just because, like, we already know the Avengers characters. I want to know more about these Justice League characters. So I'm looking more forward from a creative standpoint for Justice League, but just an overall standpoint, I'm looking way 100 times more forward to Avengers Infinity War. Finally, Thanos is doing shit. Let's see if they can do a better job with Thanos than X-Men did with Apocalypse. Colin Delaney versus James Ellsworth at the main event for WrestleMania for the WWE title. No. I ate cheeseburgers and shit on Roman Reigns on keyboard. That sounds fun, Andy Minkus. For me, I enjoyed Star Wars Episode 3, and I'm honestly not a big Captain America Civil War, which is weird because I love the first one. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people not like Civil War, which I understand. Like, Civil War was just like Avengers 2.5. Like I don't know why they call it Captain America 3. They should have just said Avengers 2.5 Civil War. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people not liking Civil War, and really, to be honest, to me, the only thing that really saves that movie is the airplane scene. Like, the airplane scene is like one of the best fight scenes that they've had in the Marvel movies, and it's awesome. Dream venue for a WrestleMania that is realistically possible. A soccer stadium in Europe, or like a cool outdoor arena in Mexico. Those would be like two of my dream venues. Just because, like, can you imagine the crowds and stuff? To be awesome. Do you see the Cowboys trading Tony Romo? I feel like the Cowboys would want a first-round pick for Tony Romo, but I feel like teams are not going to waste it. Like, if any team wastes the first-round pick on Tony Romo, I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. like that's for real, to be honest here. I think the Cowboys are going to try their hardest to trade Romo and get a lot of value for him, but they're not going to see the return on their investment. Like, really, to be honest, there's a lot of teams desperate for quarterbacks, but I would not trade a first-round pick for Tony Romo. And especially because, like, knowing the Cowboys would be like, well, Romo's worth 2 first-round picks, so you're pretty much trading 2 first-round picks for a quarterback that you don't know if he's going to be healthy within the next few years. I think the U.S. Bank Stadium, which they're going to go to eventually, and the L.A. Stadium would be great for Mania, Coliseum. They were going to have the Coliseum at a Mania in the Coliseum, but then a Sergeant Slaughter pissed off way too many people. They got, like, sniper threats. All righty, then. Let's see what else do we have here. Kathy Kelly looking pretty damn good in this picture. Also, Mercedes-Benz Stadium would be great too. Oh, the Mercedes-Benz Super Stadium, not to be confused with the Superdome. I'm going to take a few more questions, guys, because I got my dinner coming up soon, and also I just want to sit down and relax. Maybe I'll do another video tomorrow and everything like that, so don't worry. Yeah. That's what it's called. Maryland Wolves. It's called the Mercedes-Benz Super Stadium. Not to be confused with the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, played by the New Orleans Saints, which needs upgrade in itself, but whatever. Thoughts on American Alpha winning the tag titles? I was personally disappointed because I thought the Wyatts and Orton could have had a good reign. Yeah, they rushed that. Like, I don't understand. Like, Wyatt and Orton were doing pretty damn good, pretty hot. Like, why waste Wyatt and Orton at Mania? Like, wouldn't you want to have Wyatt and Orton be like this dominant force up until Mania, and then afterwards have it where they drop the belts to American Alpha, and then you can have a Wyatt and Orton feud at SummerSlam or something? I don't know. That makes too much sense, I guess. Do you think Baron Corbin will have a breakout year in 2017? No. And it's nothing against Corbin. I think he's been doing better and everything like that. I just don't feel like the company is going to really invest too much stock into Baron Corbin. And the Taste God ends this Q&A off as, who's the coolest video game character? Coolest video game character. I like Dante from Devil May Cry. I always thought he was a badass. He always no-sold shit. So I'll go with Dante from Devil May Cry. Why the fuck not? Or the guy who doesn't talk in Need for Speed Most Wanted. The driver, you, in Need for Speed Most Wanted. He's a cool video game character. He just breaks all these fucking rules and don't give a fuck. Just give him his BMW M3 GTR 2005. That's all he wants. Anyways, thank you all for watching this live Q&A shenanigans. The last one of 2016. Maybe there will be a part 2 tomorrow. Maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. Thank you all for watching. Hope you guys have a wonderful New Year's Eve and New Year's and stuff like that. Don't do anything stupid. Don't, as Stone Cold would say to Bill Goldberg, don't do anything I want to do. So yeah, don't do anything that I want to do. Okay, guys. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you guys like what you saw, subscribe, like, hit the bell for the notifications and all that other stuff. Follow me on Twitter at ChaseAuber68. And remember, guys, sometimes, like Brock Lesnar would say, you just don't have to give a shit. Have a good one, guys. Peace.